So today, my topic that I'm choosing to speak on is the environment of private schools. Being that I'm a young Hispanic male and I went to a predominantly all-white Catholic private school, it was a lot of things that I had to go through personally and a lot of situations that I had to go through and figure out on my own in situations that I had never been through before. So I'm choosing to speak on this situation because it's very personal to me, and it's stuff that I had to deal with and stuff that I see my friends deal with. And I feel like it's a topic that needs to be spoken on because private schools constantly push away this ongoing problem of this racist culture that they've built, and they choose to ignore it and I feel that it should be spoken on. So yeah. So in 2017, the statistics showed that at least 65% of all private school population was white, and at most 16% was the minority population of all private schools. These statistics show exactly how it feels when going to school. There would be points of time where I was the only minority in class. It would constantly make me feel outcasted, and private school has built this uncomfortable environment, being that they limit the minority population. I have yet to see one private school that tries to accomplish any level of diversity, and on top of that, the ones that try to make a more balanced out population are made fun of or looked at lesser than. It's an environment that private schools created and allowed because it's viewed as the more white, the better the school is. As said in an MPQ article, the fact is that over the years, African American families and non-white families have come to understand that these private schools are not schools that are open to them, especially in light of their traditional role and history related to delegation of public schools. Private schools have brushed off minorities to the side, and we settled for this, adding on to the normalized culture of oppression amongst these private schools. This is the root of the issue, and this is where it starts: the population of the school and the environment they build off of that. In addition to the population difference, the countless racist actions contribute to normalized racist culture. For example, a student from Milton Academy said, "Our history class read a packet on lynching for homework, and when we came in to discuss it, a fellow classmate said that the reading was finally entertaining." Another example is a student at Deerfield High School sharing his story, saying, "When I was at a sit-down table one day, a teacher reached out and touched my hair to admire it and said, 'I knew an African American girl with hair like yours. So cool.' This interaction made me feel less confident in my appearance, and I don't want to be cool, but be beautiful. And cool describes a nice pair of shoes, but I am a human being." Another student from Dover High School said, "My white math teacher mixed me up with another black girl every day for months, despite me correcting her on multiple occasions." These are three of the many countless situations that that kids that go to private school deal with on a daily. And these situations are constantly brushed off. These situations are considered normal, and it's a part of the culture to just accept it rather than speaking about it. This roots from the population, as I said, being minorities are simply oppressed in these private schools. In addition to the population difference and the kids, there's the way that the school handles the situation. For instance, my friend had a situation at school where his teacher told him, "You do realize if I was a cop, I would be legally obligated to shoot you right now for talking back." The whole library heard it, and I was very disappointed, being that the school tried to confront us for being loud in the library. They tried to make us feel like we deserve what he said. Along with that, the teacher was never released, and they kept him there. All they did was move him to a different area. The school told my friend they felt very bad and apologized for his behavior, yet they did absolutely nothing about it. Private schools have to constantly brush things off to keep their image and not actually looking at the real issue, which is the normalized culture of racism. As long as these schools are making money off of the students, they don't care what anyone has to say. And if someone did feel a certain way, it was never a caring moment or understanding moment. It was more, if you don't like it, you can leave. Overall, this issue is something very personal to me because I feel like I couldn't speak on the situations because I was on full financial aid. This gave me the feeling that I couldn't speak up for myself because I was in fear that I would get kicked out and not receive the education that I was receiving anymore. The thing that made me most mad is I knew if I got kicked out for speaking up that I couldn't receive this education anywhere else because they don't give regular public schools the same attention and focus that they do private schools. Now that I look back at the situation, I do truly regret not speaking up and what I saw and what I was told. And I regret not saying anything about the racist culture to the faculty and staff and not helping to make it a different environment. I feel this is something that needs to be addressed, and I advocate for all schools to reach a more understanding of what's going on and show efforts to actually change the racist environment and culture of the school. Overall, the only way that this will change is the three things that I said: the race proportion, the attitude, and the mindset of the kids, and the effort through the staff of the private schools.